Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for all coming today. We would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you joining today. Do we have any newcomers here who are joining us for the first time? Hari Bol! Let's give a big round of applause to all of you. Thank you for coming. And before we begin the program, we'll read a quote from Srila Prabhupada. We should always remember that our body is not for sense gratification, it is for Krishna's service only. And to render very good service to Krishna, we should not neglect the upkeep of our body. Jai Srila Prabhupada. And also let's do our special prayers. We are going to chant 3 times for the health of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj and the speedy recovery of our congregation member Padmaja Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. And before we move to the next part of the program, I have some special announcements to make. Month of March is going to start in a week from now, and we have first festival that is coming up is we'll be celebrating the God Purnima on Tuesday, which is March 3rd at the Port Credit Memorial Arena in Credit Room, and this would be starting from 6 p.m. So again I repeat, March 3rd, which is a Tuesday, being a weekday, event is not in this center, it's at the Port Credit Memorial Arena, and the details will be in the flyer. And those who are interested in bringing the dry bhoga for the God Purnima, we'll be giving out aluminium containers. You can contact me after the program. I can give per family if you require the small aluminium containers for bhoga. And also we'll be celebrating another festival in the month of March, which is Ram Navami, and that will be celebrated on Thursday, which is March 26th. Again, it will not be here at the Vic Johnston Community Center, it will be at the Meadowville Community Center in the youth and the senior room, starting at 6 p.m. onwards. We've been there last year a couple of times in the Meadowville. So the next festival is March 3rd. And where is the venue? Port Credit. And then March 26th, which is Thursday at Meadowville. Perfect, we have great audience here. And then there's one more, which is April, so we can just mark our calendars. April 11th, that day on from 10 a.m. onwards, His Grace Rajasio Prabhuji will be conducting the Vaishnav etiquette class for all the devotees here in this center itself, and all are welcome to join. And this will help us learn all our practical things and etiquettes, how to be good Vaishnavas, and it's free of cost. So soon we'll share the registration link, so all you need to do is just register, and that would be on April 11th. We have I thought some new devotees. And then also an important announcement, tax receipts for the year 2025, they have been issued. Please check your email. In case you do not find any email, please let me know. You can contact me through WhatsApp and let me know. So moving further to our next part of the program, which is the Vedic discourse. This week's discourse will be given by His Grace Dharma Prabhuji, and he is going to talk about Bhagavad Gita chapter 5, verses from 1 to 6. Let's all welcome His Grace Dharma Prabhu. Hari Bol, big round of applause for Prabhuji. Meanwhile, about him, we would just like to share something. Dharmadas Prabhuji, he graduated from BITS Pilani in India and moved to Canada from Mumbai in 1999 with his family. Professionally, he has worked at Apotex and GEPAA laboratories as a sourcing manager, and now works as a sourcing leadership position at Viola WaterTech Solution North America. He was introduced to ISKCON by a simple visiting card given to him by Her Grace Kamla Gopi Mataji from ISKCON Brampton. Initially, he and his wife, Her Grace Mansi Ganga Devi Dasi, were a part of Her Grace Jai Rajeshwari Devi Dasi's Bhakti Vriksha group and took initiation 10 years ago from His Grace Bhaktiman Swami, and within a couple of years they took their second initiation from him as well. Until August 2024, he served as in charge of Brampton Boutique and Book Distribution, and currently he is serving as a core member of ISKCON Mississauga. So a big round of applause to His Grace Dharma. All yours.
Let's start with Jayarama Matam.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janarandana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
please open the first introduction page. This introduction page, and let's do the Mangalacharan. Om Ajnana Tirvindasya Jnana Salakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhisitam Vistapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakatarmayam Dadami Swapadamlikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuktapata Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tham Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pata Sagana Lalita Shri Visakha Vitancha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopise Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusudevi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Tarvaicha Kripa Sindhuvaicha Patitana Pavane Bhayo Vaishnava Bhayo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today I have given the topic of Niskama Yoga, and this chapter number 5 from verse 1 to 6. So we'll just go through all the slokas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want some volunteers to read sloka 5.1. Anyone? Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita 5.1. Arjuna Uvacha. Sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha sanchasi yat shreya etaro ete yurikam tanme bruhi sunishitam.
Translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Arjuna said, "O Krishna, first of all, you asked me to renounce work.
And then again, you recommend work with devotion. Now, will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial?" Hare Krishna.
Next one, 5.2.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sanyasya Karma Yogascha Nishchayasta Karaudam Ubhau Tayostu Karma Sanyasat Karma Yoga Vishishyate. Translation: The personality of Godhead replied, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. But of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work.
5.3. Yes, go. Go ahead.
Neya Nitya Sannyasi Yonadveshti Nakamshati Nirtvando hi Mahabaho Sukham Bandhat Pramuchyate. Translation: One who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities is known to be always renounced. Such a person, free from all dualities, easily overcomes material bondage and is completely liberated, O mighty armed Arjuna.
5.4, Prabhus. Yeah.
सांख्य योग को बाला प्रवदन्ति न पंडिता एकम मया पस्थित सम्यक् गोविंदते फलम. Translation: Only the ignorant speak of devotional service, karma yoga, as being different from the analytical study of the material world, Sankhya. Those who are actually learned say that he who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the results of good.
5.5. Yeah.
यत् सांख्ये प्राप्यते स्थानं ततो देव त्रिकम्यते एकं सांख्यं च योगं च
Ya Pashyati Sa Pashyati.
One who knows that the position reached by means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, see things as they are.
Point 6. Anyone?
Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkam aptum ayokataha yoga yukto mune brahma nachidihina tikachati. Merely renouncing all activities yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy, but a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay.
So, let's start the first one here. Arjuna uvacha sanyasam karmanam krishna punuryogam cha samsasi yaccherya itayor ekantam me burusi suchi sunishchitam. Oh, Arjuna said, oh Krishna, first of all, you asked me to renounce work, and then again you recommend me work with devotion. Now, will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial? So, Prabhupada explains here that in the second chapter, the preliminary knowledge of soul and its entanglement in the material body was explained. So, how to get out from the material entanglement was through Buddhi Yoga or devotional service. That was also explained. In the third chapter, it was explained a person who is situated in the platform of jnana, knowledge, no longer has any duties to perform. In the fourth chapter, the Lord told Arjuna that all kinds of sacrificial work culminates in knowledge, which is jnana. However, at the end of fourth chapter, the Lord advised Arjuna to wake up and fight, being situated in perfect knowledge. Now, Arjuna is confused. You are telling me culmination of knowledge, don't have to work. Now you are telling to work. I am confused. So tell me what is best for me. That is the fifth question he is asking in the Bhagavad Gita so far. So now if we go back to Shastras, Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is Canto 1, where Vyasadeva is so confused. Is explained here in the first canto, chapter 5, where the sages amongst Narada is present. I'm just going to read from the text. Addressing Vyasadeva, the son of Parasara, Narada required, are you satisfied by identifying with the body or the mind as objects of self-realization? Then he says, your inquiries were full and your studies were all fulfilled. There is no doubt that we have prepared a great and wonderful work of Mahabharata, which is full of all kinds of Vedic sequences elaborately explained. He continues, you have fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman as well as knowledge derived therefrom. Why should we be despondent in spite of all this, thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu? Then he continues, Sri Vyasadeva said, all I have said about me is perfectly correct. Despite all this, I am not pacified. I therefore question you about the root cause of my dissatisfaction. For you are a man of unlimited knowledge due to your being the offspring of one Brahma who is self-born without mundane father and mother. My Lord, everything that is mysterious is known to you because you worship the creator and destroyer of the material world and the maintainer of spiritual world, the original personality of God, who is transcendental to the three modes of material nature. Continues. Like the sun, your God's goodness can travel everywhere in the three worlds, and like air, you can penetrate the internal region of everyone. As such, you are as good as all pervasive super soul. Will you therefore find out the deficiency in me, despite my being absorbed in transcendence under disciplinary regulation and vows? So Narada explains, you have not actually broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of the personality of Godhead. That philosophy which does not satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord is considered worthless. So, Vyasadeva has written many Puranas, he has written Upanishads, but he still is not satisfied. Why? He has not, written about Lord Krishna. He has not glorified Krishna. So there is a dissatisfaction. So Jnanis, they have the knowledge, but it has to be to the devotional service. If it is not hooked up to devotional service, then that is going to cause dissatisfaction. Okay? When you say karma, karma means action. Yoga means linking to Krishna. So karma yoga, your action should be linked to Krishna. That's what it means. Okay? So just to give you another example. So in the farming, when the farmers, they have completed the harvesting, and they harvest at the end of 3-4 months, they get the grains. So they beat the grain to remove the rice and husk separately. So after beating, the husk is separated out and husk is sold in the market. But if you keep beating the husk, will you get the grain? No, right? So that is the position of Jnanis. If you keep beating the same thing, you won't get that. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he talks about to Brahmananda Roy, he said one who gives up mental speculations and when situated in process of hearing and hearing glories of the Lord, one can conquer the Lord who otherwise cannot be conquered. So it's called Yukta Vairagya as opposed to dry renunciation. So in the 5.2 in the sloka, now Krishna explains here. Sannyasa karma yogascha nirsriyasa karma ubhav tayostu karma sannyasat karma yoga sishyate. The personality of God replied, renunciation of work and the work in devotion are both good for liberation, but of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work. Let's discuss that. So we have to act. We have karma, right? So karma gives fruitive activities. That fruitive activities results in material bondage, and we go through this process of transmigration, 8.4 million species. So you get the knowledge. I am not this body, I am the spiritual soul. But it's not sufficient. You have to act as a spiritual soul. Just renunciation of fruitive activities does not, purify the heart. But act in Krishna consciousness so that you link your activities to Krishna consciousness. So that is what is recommended by Lord Krishna. So in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.258, where Sri Rupa Goswami says, Prapanchikatya buddhaya hari sambandhi vastuna mumuksevi panityoga vairagyam phalgu katyate. What it means, when person eager to achieve liberation, things related to Supreme Personality of Godhead, thinking them to be material, their renunciation is called incomplete. It's like a bird, in a cage. So if there is a cage and there is a bird inside the cage. We just clean the cage and don't feed the bird. What will happen? Bird will die. The bird is the soul. So you have to give food for the soul. But just cleaning the cage doesn't help. So if you look at 6.34, any volunteers? 6.34. Anyone like to read that verse?
चञ्चलं हि मना कृष्ण प्रमाथि बलवद्दृढं तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये वायो इव सुदुष्करम्.
The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, very strong, O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think is more difficult than controlling the wind. So it can't be very quiet, not working. So the mind is sanchalam, very difficult to control. So use the mind in the service of Krishna. So in the 5.3, Jnanesa nitya sannyasi no yono divastina kansiti niridbandhu hi mahabhavo sukham bandhat paramuchare. One who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities, known to be always renounced. Such a person, free from all dualities, easily overcome material bondage and is completely liberated. So nitya sannyasi, it's always, right? It's always renounced. So in the chapter 7.27, someone want to volunteer 7.27? Look at that 7.27. Any Matajis?
Sargayanti Paramtapa, O sign of Bharat, O conqueror of food, all living entities are more into delusion, bewildered by dualities arising from desire and hate.
Yeah. So all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arising from desire and hate. So here Krishna is saying, one who neither hates nor desires the fruits of activities, known to be always renounced. So here is an example given by Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. So you are, say, most of you you are in a bus, for example, and people try to avoid sit on the back seat. You know why? And the roads are bumpy, goes up and down, right? So in India it's really horrible, you know, you jump up and down. So if you are on an airplane, you know, you are not affected by the terrains of below. We are in a higher level. Similarly, material consciousness is ups and downs, affects us tremendously. So when it is cons rise, we pursue spirituality, reality. So sometimes what happens, there is a craveness, you know, we should get this. If you don't get it, then there is a dissatisfaction. If you are in a higher plane, like who are in an aeroplane, for them, they don't see the up and downs. Doesn't matter because they are nitya sannyasi, constantly renunciates some of the internal dispositions of detachment. So they detach. That's what Krishna is saying. So those people are nitya sannyasis. Then he moves on to 5.4. Sankhya Yoga Pratyak Bhala Prabandhati Na Pandita Ekam Apiyastitha Samyudhu Bhaur Vidintate Phalam. Only the ignorant speak of devotional service, Karma Yoga, as being different from the analytical study of the material world, Sankhya. Those who are actually learned say that he who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the result of both. So here Krishna is saying that Karma Yoga and Sankhya Yoga, they are same. Okay? Now, what is the purpose of Karma Yoga? Anyone? Working for Krishna. Our aim is to attain Vishnu. That is Karma Yoga. What is the purpose of Sankhya Yoga? Through the analytical study of the material world, you find the soul existence, attain Vishnu. They are also same. So what they do in Sankhya Yoga is before I go there, let's look at page 7 of the introduction. Any volunteer? Go to page 7 of the introduction. The subject of Bhagavad Gita. Can someone read? Yeah.
The subject of Bhagavad Gita entails the comprehension of 5 basic truths. First of all, the science of God is explained, and then the constitutional position of the living entities, jivas. There is Ishvara, which means the controller. There are jivas, the living entities, which are controlled. If a living entity says that he is not controlled, but that he is free, then he is insane. The living being is controlled in every respect, at least in this conditioned life. So in Bhagavad Gita, the subject matter deals with Ishvara, the supreme controller, and the jivas, the controlled living entities. Prakriti, material nature, time, duration of existence of the whole universe, or the manifestation of material nature. And karma, the activities are also discussed. The cosmic manifestation is full of different activities. All living entities are engaged in different activities. From Bhagavad Gita, we must learn that God is what the living entities are, what the cosmic manifestation Prakriti is, and how it is controlled by the time, and what are the activities of living entities are.
So, thank you, Prabhu. So, there are 5 things in Bhagavad Gita discussed. So what are the 5 things? We read it out just now. Bhagavan, Ishvara, time, Jiva, Kala, yeah. So, correct. So what does the analytical study, Sankhya philosophy does? They analyze these things. There are totally 24 elements they analyze. So what are the 24 elements? One is Prakriti, then 3 internal organs, that is intelligence, mind and ego. Then sense organs, 5, ear, skin, eye, tongue and nose. Then karmendriyas, mouth, hands, legs and as genitals. Then tanmatras, sound, touch, form, taste, smell, and gross elements, air, fire, water, ether, space. So they analyze in details these 24 elements to find out what is the root of everything. That is, from there they achieve the cause, which is Vishnu, and then they attach their service to that. So Sankhya Yoga as well as the Karma Yoga, what here in 5.4 explained, are the same. Only ignorant speak of devotional service being different from analytical study of the material world. Those who are actually learned say that he who applies himself well to one of those paths achieves the results of both. So that is what is explained here in this place. So understanding oneself is practical. You see in the mirror 5-year-old, and then you have grown, then young, and then old. After that you die. You see it. Lord, to understand Krishna is very difficult. Western people tried a lot to understand. They couldn't. It's not possible to understand. 5 elements, earth, we talked about those things. Sankhya flow we try to understand. So here it is explained that as an example, a scientist he tries to there's a tree. It's a gardener, okay? It's a gardener, and there's a scientist who analyzes the garden, the trees, how it grows, you know. So he goes and tries to find out how to make the tree grow, and what is the root cause, and he gives nutrient, good soil, everything. And then he gets a nice mango from the tree. But there is a gardener who is compared to devotional service. He just roots the water of the tree. It's a tree, just root the water of the tree. And after some time it grows, you get the mango. Mangoes are same, right? So here the comparison is made that the person who is in analytical study, he tries to understand everything, and then he tries to attach it to Krishna. While the gardener, he is actually doing what is Shastra said, just water the tree, it grows and gives the result. So the easier path. So here Prabhupada explains here in the devotional service, if there is an iron rod, okay, you put it in the fire, after some time what happens? If you pull out the iron rod, that also can catch fire. We are like that, right? We worship long contact with God, we get purified, we come closer to God. Okay? So if you go to 10.10, 10.11, anyone like to read the 10.10?
तेषां सर्वयुक्तानां भजतं प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन माम् उपयन्ति ते. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give understanding by which they can come to me.
To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give them the understanding by which they can come to me. So Krishna is telling that he gives the understanding. Once you start, developing your love towards Krishna, he gives understanding so that you can come to him. What about the next sloka, Prabhu? You are reading now, 10.11.
तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाशे आत्मभावस्तो ज्ञानदीपेन भासुतः. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
So, Krishna gives the knowledge and he gives his mercy to them, so that it destroys all that bad things. He gives the knowledge. What is knowledge? Anyone can tell me? Who's Mata is? What is real knowledge? Yeah.
I think real knowledge means to be able to understand how to go beyond thinking about the body, the concept of life. That's what real knowledge is.
Removes ignorance.
Remove ignorance that we are not this body, we are the soul. And then we are. Go ahead, give the mic.
The realization that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God.
Yes, and we are?
We are eternal servants of the soul.
Part and parcel of Krishna.
Part and parcel of Krishna.
Very good, yeah. Nice. So that's what. So this is the theory, right? But we have to realize that. That's very important, okay? So Sankhya philosophy tries to analyze bits and pieces, analytical study, and then it tries to find the root cause. They give many examples, right? The gardener, the scientist. So they try to find out the root cause, why it is happening. They keep on analyzing, debating. Eventually they try to connect with Krishna. Yes, this is what happens. Then they go to, that is a difficult path. But still they achieve the same thing. Okay? Now let's go to 5.5. Anyone want to read 5.5? Suloka?
यत्साङ्ख्ये प्रप्यते स्थानं तद्योगैरभिगम्यते एकं साङ्ख्यं च योगं च यः पश्यति स पश्यति.
Translation.
One who knows that the position reached by means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, sees things as they are.
What do you understand, Mataji?
That there is no difference between going through into the analytical study and doing Bhakti Yoga.
Right. So the different path, that's what it means. They are reaching the same goal, but they are different path. So here we are saying two things. Sankhya philosophy says that detached to the worldly things, and but devotional services attached to Krishna. So one is saying detachment to matter, or one is attached to Krishna. Both same, one sees same is perfect. That's what Krishna is saying. So when you say detached to worldly things, that's a very difficult path, right? Why? Why is it difficult for us? Anybody? Prabhus? Why is it difficult for us to detach worldly things? We are because bound by three gunas. The three gunas are always going to bind you. That is the nature of the fabric of this material world. So we go to 4.39. Anyone want to read 4.39? Prabhus?
श्रद्धा विलप्ते ज्ञानं तत्परः संयक्तेन्द्रियः ज्ञानं लब्धावपरं शान्तिम् अचिरेन्द्रिय गच्छति. A faithful man who is dedicated to the transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge, and having achieved it, he quickly attains a supreme spiritual peace.
Yeah. Such knowledge in Krishna consciousness can be achieved by a faithful person who believes firmly in Krishna. One is called faithful man who thinks that simply by acting in Krishna consciousness, he can attain the highest perfection. This faith, Shraddha, is attained by discharge of devotional service and by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, which cleanses one's heart of all material dirt. Over and above this, one should control the senses. A person who is faithful to Krishna and who controls the senses can easily attain perfection in knowledge of Krishna consciousness without delay. So, this devotional service path, easy to do it. So let's go on to 5.6. Anyone like to volunteer? Yes, Prabhu.
5.6 Sannyasasthu mahabaho dukkham aptum ayogatah yogayukto munir brahma na chirena adhigacchati. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Merely renouncing all activities yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy. but a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay.
So merely renouncing all activities, yet not engaging the devotional service of the Lord, cannot make one happy. So that is the underlying word here. So what happened? We read 5.1 to 5.4. So the 5.1, Arjuna is confused, is asking for clarification. And Krishna says both the paths are good, but the path of karma yoga is better. Okay? Now then 5.3, 5.4, 5.5, how both lead to same purposes of different process of liberation. That's what we discussed. Now Krishna is saying that merely renouncing all activities, not engaging in devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy. Let's talk about this. He's basically saying sannyasas are difficult. It will give dukkha if not practicing yoga. Why? We are always inherently pleasure seeking. Ananda, our fabric of Atma is Ananda. If it does not get pleasure in a spiritual level, it goes to material level to get the pleasure. Do you get pleasure in material level? Yes, but not always. It's temporary. You buy a car, buy a house, brand new house, brand new car, leather is very nice. You like the car? Wonderful, 1 month, nice, 2 months. After a year, that becomes old car, right? You see your neighbor, he got a better car than you. Always there is, envies. So, that satisfaction, pleasure is temporary. Why is temporary? We are temporary. Because we have age. The moment you are born, your death is decided. So, you can earn any amount of money, but my neighbor across my house is Italian, right? So he said, I'm retired, I'm of 65, I'm happy. He was just going backyard, gardening, everything. I don't have nothing to worry. Within 1 year, 3 days he didn't show up from the home. After some days, the children, adults, they came. All of them surrounding. Then I came to know that he passed away. So he had a nice house, he had everything. He said, I'm not going to give to children. Right? But he didn't take anything with him. So that is the life here in this Dukhalaya, right? So here Krishna is saying that two kinds of sannyasis are there. One is not in devotional service, who is Mayavadi, which is explained in 14.27, 12.50. Other one is Bhakta Sannyasi. Let's take 14.27. What does it say? Mataji, any Matajis want to read?
Repeat the number again.
14.27. Huh?
ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाः अमृताया यस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्य कान्तिकस्य च.
Translation.
And I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness.
Okay, let's go to another one. 12.50. No? Oh, not there. 12.5, sorry.
पुरुषो अधिकरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्त असक्त चेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिः दुःखं देहवद्भिः अवाप्यते. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied.
So they are talking about Mayavadis here, that those minds are attached to the unmanifested impersonal feature of Supreme. Advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in the discipline is always difficult. And they come down, they go to merge, they say they are Narayan. They try to merge. They go up to Brahma Jyoti and then they fall back. After many births, they realize they come into devotional service. They sometimes go to philanthropic activities. It's a difficult path. But on the other hand, Bhakta Sannyasis like we are, easy path. You are doing your day-to-day activities, attaching the karma to Krishna. Like devotees now bringing prasadam, right? They're cooking for Krishna, right? And devotees are using their house for doing Sankirtan, right? Some devotees, they go on to book distribution. So anything that anything downtime to Krishna, you don't get karma. Easy process. Slowly Krishna will engulf you. Be careful. Huh? He'll take everything from you. So bhakti is joyful. One who understands the science of God, one becomes very cheerful. And here Prabhupada talks about deity worship, right? He gives an example in the purport of 5.6. So you want to post a letter. Where will you go and post the letter? Vingyan Prabhu. You want to post a letter. How will you post a letter? You have address? Yeah, you have address. Go to your post box. There is a special post box. A red color in India, you post it there. Right? Suppose you put in any box the letter, will it reach? No, right? So same thing, deity worship like this, you know. So Archa Vigraha, Krishna has come into his form that you have to offer your obeisances and pray to him. So, and he fulfill your desires. So the Archa Vigraha, it can't be just anything, right? On the other hand, jnana is very difficult. So here Bhakti Rasavarta Swami gives an example. He talks about Sankaracharya. You can explain what Sankaracharya talked about. Advaita philosophy. Yeah, he talked about Advaita philosophy. He said Atma is in Maya, then he realized that I am God. But eventually, same Sankaracharya talks about Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaje Mudamate. My dear fool, scolding those avoiding names of God, chant name of Govinda. Why? At the time of death, grammar logic will not save you. Chant with devotion. That's what he says. So, jnana is a difficult path that must culminate in bhakti. So, why don't you go into direct path? This is bhakti. So, we talked about karma kanda, jnana kanda, then ashtanga yoga. There are different levels. Ultimately, bhakti and easy to attain. So, here the sannyasis is they say Nara become Narayana. Here Kulakshetra says that scolding the sannyasis in the Mukunda Mala. I am giving I'm giving advice to sannyasis with my hands raised with loud voice to those sannyasis. I advise them to hear mantra of Narayan with great devotion. Chant beautiful holy name to free from samskara, ghora visha. Ghora means poison, very strong poison. Get out of this, you have to chant Hare Krishna mantra. You come out of birth and death cycle. Here there is a story of, I just finished with that, Ramanujacharya. So Ramanujacharya, when he was young, he wanted to take initiation. He went to his guru, Goshtapurna. He went many times. First time, Goshtapurna said, no, you are not ready. Second time, third time, fourth time. 18th time, he said, yes. I am giving you initiation because you are sincerity and you are humble. So he says, I am going to give a Goshtapurna, said that, his guru. I am going to give a Vaishnava mantra. Under no condition you should reveal this to anyone other than who is pure. You can't give this to sinful people. By chanting this mantra, one easily get liberated, go to Vaikuntha. Okay? So he received the instruction, he paid obeisances, he left. On the way he goes to Vishnu temple, there's a marketplace. He saw the people and he felt very compassionate. Ramanujacharya felt compassionate. He felt they don't know what is the purpose of life. They are wasting valuable time, suffering. So he decided to give the mantra what his guru said, not to give under any condition to sinful people. So Ramanujacharya went on top of the temple. With a loud voice, he said, I have a valuable jewel for you. Come and take it. The message is spread while in the city, and many people came, a lot of them came. And Ramanujacharya, he gave the mantra saying that one can go to Vaikuntha, you just have to say this, Om Namo Narayana. Can you want to repeat? Om Namo Narayana. Just say this mantra, you can go back to Godhead. So people are very happy, and you could see the joyness and happiness in their face. Then Goshtapurna, his guru, came to know of this. He was very upset. How can you do that? I told you not to reveal this to anyone. So Ramanujacharya went to him, and Guru was very angry, I told you not to give this mantra to simple people. They are fallen people. Punishment is go to hell. Since you have given this to them, the punishment to you is you have to go to hell. So Ramanujacharya simply smiled. He said, I felt that, giving this mantra to the humanity, they will be liberated from the suffering they are undergoing. For that, I am prepared to suffer to go to hell. In the process, you will get a credit because they are all liberated. And Goshtapurna was very stunned by his thinking, the disciple thinking. And he said, you are my guru. Goshtapurna, who is the guru, he said to Ramanujacharya, you are my guru. That's real compassion. So, devotion, sacrifice for sake of bringing happiness to others, that's what he did. Para dukha dukhi, para sukha sukhi. So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Dev is talking to her mother, Devavati, and she is telling here, even a Chandala means people who are dog eaters, If he is chanting name of Hari with faith and devotion is worshipable for the whole world. Understanding that such person perform tapasyas, holiness, all rituals. So this chanting of the name is so powerful, it doesn't matter who chants. So we all should chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. The conclusion is that, going back to 5.2 verse, that, let me read it here. Sannyasa karma yogascha nirisyas karma ubhav tayostu karma sannyas karma yoga sishyate. The personality of God replied, the renunciation of work and the work in devotion are both are good for liberation, but of the two, work in devotion service better than renunciation of work. That is the takeaway from today's class. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Any questions?
Beautiful lecture and very engaging lecture as well. I hope most of us we agree with it, right? So a big round of applause for this great. Anybody has any questions you would like to ask? Personally, Prabhuji, for me, the way you highlighted that this world is Dukhalya, and that's the fabric of the material world, how we are ruled by our three modes of passion, and we can get the mercy of Krishna by engaging our day-to-day activities in attaching services to Krishna. That can, like you gave the example of cooking prasadam, using the house for doing Sankirtan. So all that was very, very valuable. Thank you again, and a big round of applause for this great performance. Before moving to the next part of the program, I just have to make another announcement, which is that the book distribution 101 and the intermediate courses are available now. If anybody is interested, please contact His Grace Dharmadas Prabhu himself. And also, we had 2 dates before for March, which was March 3rd, the Gaur Purnima, and March 26th, our Ramnavami celebrations. Please add March 28th to your calendar as well. That day, there's a Bhaktivedanta Academy of Education of Canada. They are requesting everybody to join an in-person seminar on transforming relationships. It's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you can get more details from Dharmadas Prabhu himself. And also we have shloka recitation classes for children aged 5 to 15 every Friday, and this is a Zoom class. You can get more information on the front desk. Also, we are very pleased to announce that we have an ongoing reading club for all, which is encouraging all our newcomers to read Srila Prabhupada's books at your own pace, and this is 2 to 3 pages a day. And the book of this month is Perfection of Yoga. This book is given free to all newcomers, so I would request you to please grab your copy and just give your name at the front desk and they will be giving you a copy. Also, Neena Mataji, we want to thank her because she will be taking the Sankirtan classes for adults on every Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30, and children's classes as well on Saturday starting from age 7 or above, and these will be from 11:30 to 12:30. So she's dedicating her time, thank you Mataji, from 10:30 to 12:30 she'll be taking the adults and the children classes. You can talk to her, or Abhinav, he's right there. Abhinav, if you can contact him. And all these classes are free, so please make use of these classes. Last but not the least, there is one more date, and after the Kirtan we'll have a quiz on dates. August 22nd. We need a big Hari Bol and round of applause. That's going to be our Mississauga Annual Festival of Joy 2026, which is going to be the second festival. We need volunteers to help with children's games, please. Anybody interested, you can contact Sachi Mataji or myself or Mansi Ganga Mataji. So please for that. And lastly, this week our Sankirtan warriors, they distributed 16 Bhagavad Gita books. So a big round of applause. I will be checking back on the dates. Meanwhile, we'll keep